Imagine the bright lights, the tension, the anticipation in the air. NFL Draft Night always delivers, but sometimes the real stories are those we never see unfold on TV. This year, as picks ticked by and predictions soared, the San Francisco 49ers were on the verge of shaking up the draft board in a major way. Whispers and rumors flew. Would John Lynch and company make a bold leap up the board? What or who were they truly after? Tonight, we take you on an exclusive journey inside the Niners' war room, where ambition, strategy, and real-time decisions converged, leaving fans and insiders alike wondering, what if? The aggressive approach, 49ers set their sights on the Panthers' pick. With the 2024 NFL Draft's first round heating up, few teams had the league buzzing like the San Francisco 49ers. Known for their shrewd moves and playoff aspirations, the Niners set their sights high and, reportedly, were deep in conversations with the Carolina Panthers about a major trade for the coveted number 8 overall selection. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, trade whispers grew louder in the days and hours leading up to the draft. The assumption among front office executives around the league, the Niners were plotting an aggressive surge up the order. But despite hours of negotiations and swirling speculation, the blockbuster trade never materialized. The Niners ultimately stayed put, selecting Mykel Williams with the 11th pick. Was it luck, design, or a near miss on a move that could have changed their entire draft, and maybe their season? Who were the 49ers chasing? As the smoke cleared, rival GMs and draft analysts started connecting the dots. Why the urgency to move? Many speculated that it was all about nabbing an elite offensive weapon. Tetairoa McMillan, a dynamic wide receiver and a favorite of several teams in the top 10, was mentioned by more than one observer as a potential Niners target. With Brandon Aiyuk recovering from a serious knee injury and saddled with a less-than-optimal contract, perhaps the Niners saw McMillan as a contingency or even an eventual replacement. Colston Loveland, a tight end with the versatility and upside to one day step into George Kittle's shoes, was another name circulating among insiders. Kittle, though recently extended, is entering the stage of his career where smart teams keep an eye on succession. Kelvin Banks Jr., a promising left tackle, also fit the narrative. Trent Williams, still one of the best in the game, is inching toward the twilight of his Hall of Fame career. Could the Niners have targeted Banks as the long-term? The fact that San Francisco signed veteran left tackle DJ Humphries days after the draft only adds interest. The strategic depth at play stack up all the pieces, and it's clear. This wasn't just about one. The Saints, picking 9th, reportedly had their eyes on Mykel Williams. If the 49ers leapfrogged to number 8, it would have blocked New Orleans and guaranteed them. But the negotiations with Carolina stalled, and the Niners took the risk of staying at a... Sometimes fortune favors the... But sometimes the greater victory is having a strong plan B. John Lynch dropped a few breadcrumbs on Chris Sims' Unbuttoned podcast, hinting that Williams was truly their favored prospect. But had he gone off the board, San Francisco would have pivoted to a move that would have made headlines given all the swirling speculation. And let's not forget Mason Graham, the defensive dynamo taken at number. Even he believed the 49ers could have been his landing spot had the draft panned out a little different. Cap moves and roster ripples. The 49ers' draft day deliberations didn't just revolve around talent. They were also tightrope walking the salary. Trading Brandon Aiyuk after June 1st could free up more than $1.5 million, a calculated shift that would have aligned perfectly with selecting a top. Jordan Watkins, the Niners' first offensive pick, also happens to be a receiver, signaling that the front office isn't leaving anything to... On the line, similar questions swirl around the future of Trent Williams. A post-June 1st trade could clear up nearly $1.8 million in, potentially paving the way for a new generation at left tackle, especially with DJ Humphries now. George Kittle's contract extension looks like a long-term commitment on the surface, but functionally is a one-year deal with 3 team options. A classic NFL structure allowing maximum future flexibility if they found Loveland waiting in. The reality, why standing pat might have been the right call in. The team's public stance is that Mykel Williams was their top priority, and maybe he was. The Niners value defensive difference makers, and Williams fits the mold as a disruptive, high-upside edge rusher. With division rivals boasting firepower at quarterback, adding more pass rush aligns with Coach Kyle Shanahan's core philosophy. But let's be honest, in every draft story, there's a little bit of spin. "That was always our guy," is an easy script to follow, especially when other options briefly seemed so. Still, the Niners walked away from round one with a building block for their defense, a deeper understanding of their competitors' motives, and a playbook full of contingency plans as the offseason. Draft night, what ifs, and what. So what does it all mean for 49ers fans and the aggressive mentality in the war room shows that this front office is never satisfied. They want to outthink, outdraft, and outmaneuver the competition, whether it's Aiyuk, Kittle, Williams, or a yet-to-be-named next grainer. Nobody's spot is ever true. For now, San Francisco seems content to run it back, with high-impact rookies, a shifting roster, and eyes always in next. As rival GMs keep their phones close and mock drafts get torn up for another year, the real game in the NFL isn't just played on Sundays. Sometimes it's the moves that almost happen that weigh in. Did the 49ers make the right move? As the dust settles, was staying at number 11 the best call, or should the 49ers have pushed faster? Who do you think they were truly targeting? And how does this draft set up the 49ers for both this season and for years to come? Smash that like button if you love the draft day drama, and leave your takes in the. What's your dream scenario for this? What's the next move you want to see from Linehan? Stick with us for more in-depth NFL exclusives, because with these 49ers, the next page in their story is always just a play, a pick, or a phone call away.